Hey there, I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts, if you don't know me, and there's been a lot of stuff going on recently talking about harmful synthetic vitamins and minerals. Now, this information came to me because my coaches were being reached out to when they supported one of my products, Holistic Total Body Support. And of course, this was surprising since I've only been selling it for 12 years. And while I have had reports of occasional diarrhea if animals are sensitive to pork or beef, which is what the glandular portions of the vitamins and minerals are derived from, are, are issues for the individual pet. But I've never heard of any large scale toxicities or other issues. So let's look into some of those claims, shall we? Now, this paper is quoted frequently as proof that synthetic B6 was unable to resolve deficiency anemia in the dog. Now, there's a couple of things I want you to notice here. One is this study is from 1943. The other is that this diet was made up of nothing resembling food. And so they go on to compare that diet with synthetic B6 without it as a test, and then comparing adding in nutritional yeast, which is a great source of vitamin B. Now, when we do that, again, I want you to be aware of something here, and that is that this is what the diet is, because that paper is hard to read. So the synthetic basic diet was high in protein and consisted of the following: casein, which is a derivative of milk protein. It's a specific type of protein that's supposed to be a full complement of amino acids, sucrose or sugar, cottonseed oil, cod liver oil, which is going to supply some omega-3 fatty acids, plus vitamin A and D, mineral salts at 4%. And the deal is that that's actually not food, but the study is quoted over and over again as proof that unless you're adding a real food into this diet, the dog cannot absorb vitamin B6. And I'd have to agree with that. There's nothing resembling food in this diet. The other thing that's not stated here, this is in the very early days of understanding individual vitamins and minerals. And this is research coming from a human facility. And they're using dogs as their study model, which often happened in those days. So two things there. One is nothing resembling food, and we have no idea what kind of B6 that was. So that's like, okay, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Let's go back to this other paper that's frequently quoted, and that's this. So this is also from 1944, and basically this is a follow-up to that previous study, and they looked at pups fed purified diets receiving synthetic vitamin B complex, and basically they still developed problems growing hair into to 11 months on the diet. Two of the dogs finally failed after reaching maturity on the synthetic diet. So these synthetic forms were ineffective in changing the course of the deficiencies, whereas adding in liver fractions or whole dried yeast brought about complete cures. Again, I get it. I'm sorry, this is $41 to go buy the paper, but all of this research was based on this experimental diet that I highlighted to you a little bit earlier. Okay, so that doesn't make sense, right? And we have a lot more research, which I will be showing to you over the coming weeks so that you can decide for yourself. There are pluses and minuses to synthetics. If they are not in the appropriate form that's absorbable by the body, they are indeed difficult for the body to utilize. And if they are given, one of the other common arguments is that they don't have the necessary cofactors that are found in food. That's also true. However, if they're fed with a diet that contains those necessary cofactors, then they are absorbable. One other thing I want you to think about here, even though I have done my level best to make the original Crock-Pot diet be complete and balanced for all life stages, according to AFCO standards, the magic words, right? Without supplements, it's still not possible. And the other thing, the other goal I had with holistic total body support is that many of the patients I work with are depleted. They have dysbiosis. Their ability to absorb and utilize nutrients is limited. And so my logic, as is the logic in much of functional medicine, is to supply a surfeit of B vitamins, zinc, minerals that are depleted during chronic illness and stress, along with being in the proper form for the body to absorb them, and also feeding with a whole food diet so that the body has the necessary cofactors to absorb them. All right, let's look at two more things, shall we? Now, this sheet is one that was given to one of my coaches to prove that holistic total body support was harmful for pets. Now, what I want you to notice here is that the person or group that issued this, I've redacted their information. I'm certain you'll find out about who it is very soon. But here's what they provided my coach as proof that holistic total body support is harmful to pets. They listed out various forms of vitamins and minerals. So the synthetic form, retinol palmitate acetate, causes liver damage and bone issues. And in its bioavailable form, it's friend beta carotene in vegetables, so in carrots, et cetera, retinol, which actually can be toxic. And here's some whole food sources that you can get it from. Now, let's go all the way down through here. And this person does a great job of going through each of the minerals and the vitamins, et cetera. Here's what I want you to notice. You have a choice. There's no research here. Show me the proof behind these claims. And actually, I'm going to do that for this person because I think it's important that you, the pet parent, understand this information. Now, I ran this document through ChatGPT to see if these claims were supported by evidence or not. And here's what I want you to see. Most of them are indeed supported by scientific evidence, but here's what I want you to notice. High doses of preformed vitamin A, like retinol esters, vitamin D, excessive vitamin D intake, right? Menandione, this form, no question about it. This is toxic to dogs. So this one, B12, partially supported, while methylcobalamin may be more bioavailable, cyanocobalamin is generally safe. That's not a big news. This particular sodium selenite is indeed toxic, right? Iron, excessive amounts, again, can cause organ damage. And that's right. High doses of ferrous sulfate can lead to organ iron toxicity, right? Zinc oxide can interfere with copper absorption. I think copper storage disease is one of the many challenges we are facing with our dogs today. And so if we go down then to copper, risk of liver storage disease, that's correct. And especially the more bioavailable forms can lead to copper storage disease. Manganese sulfate overdose may affect nerves. And indeed, excessive manganese can lead to neurological issues. Potassium chloride may cause an electrolyte imbalance. That's true, although it's really useful to help fix it too. Again, imbalanced potassium levels can disrupt electrolyte balance. Choline, chloride, high doses can lead to side effects like vomiting and diarrhea, et cetera. Again, partially supported, side effects are dose dependent. Phosphorus, monosodium phosphate, imbalance with calcium can impact bone health. That's correct. And then sodium chloride, high sodium intake can cause increased blood pressure and dehydration in dogs. Actually, in humans, they've proven that that's not correct. And there's a great book called The Salt Fix that says the balance between salt, sodium chloride, and potassium is critical to maintain optimal function. So magnesium, same thing. High doses of magnesium can lead to GI upset, and severe cases impact kidney function. All of those are true, but what I want you to notice is that they are all at high or excess doses. So take a deep breath when you see stuff like this that totally condemns one thing. So like grains are totally evil and vile, except for that 90% of the world would not have enough to eat if it were not for rice, and they are healthier than Americans. So think before you act and be on the lookout for more information from us explaining why I use particular forms of vitamins and minerals and holistic total body support. And also I'm going to dive deeper into the literature. Last year, actually in 2023, I reformulated holistic total body support. And here are the toxic things that I took out. One of them was liver. Did you know that liver actually is very high in PFASs, pesticides, et cetera, if you're not careful of the source? And also because of the concern of copper toxicity, the form in liver is readily available, and that actually may be contributing to so much of the copper toxicity we see, particularly if you use liver as a regular treat. Okay, that's all for now. Keep myth busting, folks.